what we meant to do is to find a way how to translate our societal challenges that we have with respect to energy and health and smart mobility to our knowledge and expertise we have at this university. And that led us to define, in fact, the backbone of our university, a scientific backbone that consists out of 6 different research focus areas. The first one is about smart materials and sustainable processes. And you have to think about materials that are adaptive, or materials that are controlled on the nanoscopic level. And with respect to sustainable processes, you have to think about, say, processes you can use for the circular economy. If you think about integrated information systems, then we're very strong at this university in creating hardware to develop new information technology, for example in the area of photonics. And we have lots of knowledge about data sciences, and especially it's very interesting to see how we could integrate hardware and software development. Of course, Eindhoven is a stronghold in the field of high-tech systems, and this high-tech systems area is very important with respect to controlled systems and adaptive systems, and this is moving towards more autonomously adaptive systems in the near future. The fourth one is about human-environment-technology interactions. And of course, technology becomes more and more predominantly present within our environment, and it's really important to know how people can interact with this technology and also inside the environment they're living in. And it's very important to study this, not only from the engineering side, but also from the design side. And this university has both elements strongly in its core business, and it's important to bring those areas together. So the emerging areas we have, the emerging focus areas, are based, one, on merging biology and technology. And I think it's very nicely stated by one of our people that we interviewed, namely that biology is becoming more and more an engineering science. And this gives us opportunities as a university of technology to become more focused on biology. And the final research focus area we have is about engineering complexity. And what is very clear from all the developments we see around us is that it becomes more and more a multidisciplinary and complex system we're working on. And we need to find out rules to understand, control and reduce complex systems, not only on societal level, but also on the molecular level. And that's, I think, where our university can play a very pioneering role in this field, since we have spread over the university many different groups working in parts of this complex systems field. Besides these 2 emerging research focus areas, I think we have also indicated 3 other opportunities which we think will become really important in the near future. One of them is about artificial intelligence. It's very clear that in order to be able to deal with the increasing amount of information our society produces, we need to go to different ways of computing. And one way to go is by making systems kind of learn themselves, make them more adaptive, and that requires new types of software, new types of information systems, also new types of hardware. Second opportunity we see is in the field of soft robotics. I think that's a very nice mixture of activities in high-tech systems and adaptive materials, because I think what we will see is that robotics not only become part of the industrial processing environment, but they will play more and more an important role in daily life. So we will integrate and interact much more with robotic systems. And to make that possible, I think we should also make the robotic systems much more adaptive to, well, how we like to interact with objects. And therefore soft robotics is a very important development. And the third research focus area opportunity we see for the future is about the adaptive environment. As we will develop further our technology about how we can interact with our environment, this interaction will play a very important role in how we kind of experience our daily lives. The room we enter will respond to our presence. The car will kind of adapt itself to our desires because it recognizes ourselves. And this leads to an environment where we constantly are in interaction with our environment. So we're now halfway our evaluation. Of course, we have now a very nice report, we think, that could be a lead for how we have to develop further. But if you really want to implement the ideas we have, some questions have to be answered. First question, for example, is how do you make sure that people will really start to work together in these newly kind of identified focus areas or opportunities. And that doesn't really happen on just automatically by bringing people together in kind of meetings. They have to really have motivation to start working together. And for example, you could think about making shared facilities and also to give people the space to really discover new areas in between departmental disciplines. Second thing that's really important, if you really look at all the research focus areas, is that they are highly multidisciplinary. And in order really to make this possible, you need to be able also to train our students in this multidisciplinary fashion. But of course, without losing kind of the content of the monodisciplines. And that of course is a really important kind of struggle, you could even say, that both on the research and education side we will experience in the near future. And I hope we will be able to come up with a kind of attractive new research or education programs that train our students to become these multidisciplinary engineers. And finally, these are all our ideas, but of course we have only kind of interviewed a limited number of people, and we really want to have the input of not only the people from the own university, but also from external people, from our alumni, but also the companies we're involved in, to see how they reflect on these ideas we have now posed over here. And we are very open for feedback, since our document is still a kind of an organic document, still developing further, and we hope to have your input so we can even finalize this and make this a more complete story next year.